Hi guys and girls, this is Mo. So I'm back today with a reading for the Aquarius Sun, Moon, and Rising. I thought that I would do something a little different than a pick a card for you Aquariuses today. I have kind of a breakdown of how this will go, and I'll explain it for each sign as I go because this is a new type of video I'm doing, but I was inspired by other people on YouTube, and I feel like my YouTube channel is evolving, and even though I haven't left my other type of videos behind, I really feel inspired to do a few more readings and hopefully to allow them to be a little bit more specific because there'll be 12 readings, one for each sign. Also, as I said, if you're in Aquarius Sun, Moon, or Rising, you can watch this video. If your Sun or Rising or Moon is another sign, feel free to, as I upload the other zodiac signs, to go ahead and watch those signs for your Sun, Moon, or Rising, whatever the case may be. What I mean by that is I am an Aquarius Sun and an Aquarius Rising, so I would watch this video, let's say, for both my Sun and my Rising, and then since I'm a Leo Moon, I could watch the Leo video for my Moon side. So if you know your Sun sign is your main zodiac sign, so most people know their main zodiac sign. You can go ahead and watch the video that is, in regards to your Sun sign. And if you don't know your Moon or your Rising sign, feel free to go ahead and type in astrology chart or astrology birth chart into Google, and you can there will be some websites that will pop up where you have to type in some information, and they will create a free chart for you that you can actually learn your moon sign and your rising sign, as well as a lot of other things astrology speaking. So this video, as well as the other zodiac sign videos, this is the first. This is Aquarius, for those of you who are Aquarius Sun, Moon, or Rising, like I said. So, sorry, I was going to fix this a little, so it's messed up. Okay, so I have this broken down to mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, intellectual, and financial. So for the mental, it will be your thought life, what you can expect to be coming in mentally. For the second category, we have physically, so it'll be health and, that type of thing. We have emotionally for the third category, it'll be about feelings. And then we have spiritually for the fourth category, that will be about your soul, Intellectually will be the fifth category, which will be your planning and which you can expect to hopefully achieve through planning. And the last one will be financial, which will be money and career. So keep in mind, this is not a personal reading. I hopefully will be offering personal readings. I'm working on it. But so not everything will apply to you because, but then again, sometimes for me, I like to watch, I'm just shuffling the cards as I'm doing this. For me, I like to watch tarot reading astrology sign videos, and even though obviously it's not always all about me, right, because the person's speaking to all the Aquariuses out there, or whatever the case may be for the sign for you guys or girls, but the fact of the matter is sometimes there is something that will resonate and that I feel is very beneficial and valuable to hear. So like I said, this isn't a personal reading. I'm working on getting personal readings going for whoever would be interested, but for now I'm going to do these tarot readings on YouTube, and it will be very general, but hopefully some things will apply to you. So I'm going to be picking 3 cards for each category, and as I said, there's 6 categories: mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, intellectual, and financial. So let's go ahead and get into it. When you don't see me looking up, it's because I'm shuffling the cards. Okay, so for Aquarius, let's see, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I'm going to take the top 3 cards, and we're going to go ahead and turn them over and see mentally. So I have the Knave of Swords, the Knave of Wands, and Temperance. Already I'm seeing that for mentally we have a lot of newness, right? Because we have the Knave, and we have the Knave of Swords, which is newness in the mind, which is what this topic is about right now. The reading is for clarity of mind for you guys who are Aquariuses. and a newness in willpower. So a newness in creativity. You will be feeling a sense of newness in terms of creativity in your willpower. You will be creating something mentally with also the drive that you have behind that. You also have the Temperance card. So yeah, you have the Knave of Wands, the Knave of Swords. This is for your mind, and you have Temperance for Aquarius. So Temperance is all about patience. So for mentally, I would say for Aquarius, the Sun, Moon, and Rising, you have to be patient with yourself mentally. You have to be willing to wait to create. You have to be willing to second guess yourself in order to move forward. The Swords is definitely a very cold way of looking at things, right? Because metal is cold, and swords cut, swords cut, and they cut a clean cut if they are sharp. And so there's that idea that you want to be mentally sharp. So you want to keep learning, but be patient with yourself, because you did have the Temperance card. And for the Knave of Wands, I'm seeing like, he's creating music, and the Knave is also the Page, and the Page is it's a learning card, right? So I do see a lot of, also the wands can symbolize spirit. So you're also starting to get in touch with your spirit, Aquarius. This is for the next 2 weeks or so. I will be uploading another video like this in 2 weeks, hopefully. But for the next 2 weeks coming up, starting today, I would definitely say you want to be clear as to what you want. That is advice I'm giving you, because you do have the Page of Swords, which is something new in the mind. But the advice is to try to be clear about what you want, to direct your willpower, to learn how to direct your willpower, but to be patient about how you are approaching yourself. Treat yourself the way you would treat someone else. So if you would be patient with someone else if they were learning something new, let's say, so you also want to feel patient with yourself. You want to be patient with the fact that you are learning something new in the next couple of weeks. And so let's just clarify a little bit of, because I don't know what we are learning in the next couple of weeks for Aquariuses. So let's go ahead and try to clarify with a card. So we have the Nine of Pentacles. So we're learning about money. We're learning about how to look at money, how to think about money, how to create a sense of wealth in our physical world. And if I could impart my own experience in this, because I'm an Aquarius and I'm speaking to Aquariuses, it's about believing that what you want is already yours, and that you don't need to feel like just because you don't have it physically in your hand doesn't mean that it's already not yours. What I mean by that is, I was taking a walk, Aquariuses, I was taking a walk, and I had something in my pocket here, and I wanted to have it in my hand, and Spirit told me, whether it's in your hand or whether it's in your heart, it's yours. And so that idea that you have to learn to believe that even though you can't spend the money in these couple of weeks, even though you may not have the money to spend, it doesn't mean that it isn't coming to you. It doesn't mean that it's not already yours. You don't have to physically have something to actually feel like you have it. So you're learning how to control your mind with the Knave of Swords, like we said, and you're learning how to control your willpower with the Knave of Wands. And it's also about being patient with Temperance in regards to money. Okay, guys, so that is for mentally. We got a little bit of financial in there, but that's okay, because we are clarifying with a clarification card. So let's go into physical for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Let's go get 3 cards for what we can expect physically for the Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Okay, I'm gonna put 3 cards down here. Okay, physically for Aquarius, we have the Two of Swords. Okay, we got the Moon. Okay, already I'm seeing subconscious here. 7 of Wands, courage. So I see subconscious, courage, And this is also saying courage to me, the Two of Swords, but it's more about a balance with courage. So this was physical. So, okay, subconscious, physical, balance, and courage in the physical realm. You will be experiencing something physically in the next couple weeks. It is something that you have been thinking about for a long time. It is just below the surface of your mind. It's something that is not clear to you exactly. Maybe you don't know exactly what you want to do as far as some sort of physical routine where you can start to feel more healthy. You have the Seven of Wands, and I'm seeing the idea of standing up for yourself. Okay, but there's also a cat with this woman who's standing up for yourself. So if you can find somebody in your physical reality, like a friend or a boyfriend or a family member, to keep you company in this physical way that you're moving. So let's say you want to start a new exercise regime. You want to have somebody to go with you to the gym, let's say, or to go with you on a walk. Let's say you want to go for a walk. So physically you want to have courage, but because you see your surroundings, Aquarius, as something that is a scary thing to be a part of. You're seeing your surroundings, people around you, and you're feeling anxious. Okay, and then we have the Two of Swords, which is also about courage, but it's about admitting that you have what it takes mentally, even though you can't see it. Okay, even though you can't see your courage because you haven't actively been engaging in this physical activity that you want to do, going to the gym. I'm really feeling going to the gym for Aquariuses, but that doesn't mean it has to be an indoor gym, right? It could just mean maybe doing something outdoors. Maybe you even want to, you want to do something in the privacy of your backyard, but you're afraid of the neighbors seeing you. The Moon card is really representing the goddess for you guys here for physically. It's about tapping into that feminine energy, which will take away the emotion, really, because even though the moon is very connected to the water and controls the emotions, it can also pull back the emotions. So maybe you're feeling really emotional in the physical. Maybe you're crying a lot, Aquarius, Aquarius, sun, moon, and rising. Maybe you're feeling like you've been crying a lot lately, and you just want to, express your body by, allowing it to get the exercise it needs. And I am feeling, because with the Seven of Wands, you are feeling anxious, and that's also a physical thing, right? Because it can manifest itself in crying as well, Aquarius. If you're feeling anxious, you could have a hard time eating, you could have a hard time sleeping. But I think the solution for you, Aquarius, is physically is in the Two of Swords. You see there's a light beside her. She's on a chair in the water, and there's a light beside her on a table, and then there's a sword stuck in a piece of rock. It's almost reminding me of like that story where the sword had to be pulled out by the person that would be, the strongest. And so there's that idea that you are looking in the right direction. If we had to look at the card for the Two of Swords, mentally she knows she doesn't have to use her eyes to see. She's using her mind, her spirit, because you also have the Seven of Wands, which is spirit, but you also have the Moon card, which is really attached to spirit as well, because it's attached to the goddess and the feminine aspect of ourselves. I feel like the god can really impart this sense of like duty, but I feel like the goddess really releases us from duty. So also I'm getting that I'm getting the idea that you really do want to go out and physically get some exercise, but there's that idea that you're still very spiritual people, Aquarius, and you know that you're looking in the right direction for your mind. You have half and half. You're balancing. You have the mind inwardly and you have the mind outwardly, whatever that means to you. And then there's also the light. So you don't have to look in the direction of the light because you are guided by your spirit, Aquarius. And I know that you know what I mean when I say that, because Aquariuses are very much guided by spirit. So that would be physically getting some exercise in the next couple of weeks, going out with somebody to feel more comfortable getting out there. and paying attention to your mind. If you don't feel comfortable being in a certain position, Aquarius, and you can't wrap your mind around trying to feel comfortable there, one thing I do, and I don't feel comfortable in a certain situation, let's say with a certain person who's looked at me, is I imagine cutting a string between me and that person in my mind. Sometimes I even take my fingers and I go snip, and that really, in my mind, it releases me from that person that has been giving me a look that I can't disconnect myself from, Aquarius. So I really feel like for Aquarius, just keep that in mind. If you feel like you go out to do some exercise and somebody gives you a look that you just can't disconnect yourself from, imagine yourself cutting the cord between you and that individual that you know has looked at you and you didn't like the way they made you feel. Okay, so for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, we got emotionally now. We're going to get our emotional cards out for the next 2 weeks. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Okay. Sorry, I just turned over a bunch of cards and like it doesn't even make sense right now what's going on here. All the cards got turned over at once. Sorry. Okay, so we had the first card was the Double for emotional. I'm just shuffling, guys. Okay. I feel like one of the cards was turned over and didn't get turned back. Here we go. We got Strength, we got the Devil, and we got the Four of Wands. Okay. So emotionally exhausted, Aquarius. That is you. You are emotionally exhausted. We have the Four of Wands. We have the Devil card, 15. Okay, and we have the Strength card, 11. Okay, so emotionally, you've been so strong, Aquarius. You've been really, really strong. You're exhausted from the work you've been doing with the Four of Wands. With the Strength card, all you feel is like you've been giving so much strength. And with the Devil card, you feel like you've been cheated, okay? You feel like you've been cheated, and you feel like all the loyalty that you've been giving to the divine, to your deities, to your spirit, you know, all the energy that you've been putting in, you feel like you've just been left out of the cold. And this is emotionally. So it's like, it's not about the fact that you've been wearing a mask, because you've been very strong and you've been genuinely yourself, Aquarius. You haven't been two-faced. You've been relying on somebody who's also been giving you strength to carry on. That person sees you as a source of inspiration, Aquarius. With the Four of Wands, I see that, you know, there's two people here and they both seem to be relying on each other. So hopefully you have that person in your life that you're relying on, Aquarius. And with the Devil card, I just want you to remind you that in a sense, you know, it's okay to feel weak because you've been working so hard, and it's not an insult to feel like you are weak. It's more of a call to learn how to give yourself rest. Sometimes being strong emotionally is learning how to find a way to give yourself the rest that you need. So for spiritually, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the next 2 weeks. I'm just shuffling the cards for you guys here. Trying not to drop them all over the place. Okay, we got 2 cards. We got the Devil again. We got the King of Swords. So this is spiritually. And the last card, Aquarius. My Aquarius is... Okay, all right. Okay, last card for... spiritually. Ooh. Spiritually exhausted. Again, we have the Four of Wands and the Devil card. Spiritually exhausted, and from the last reading we had emotionally exhausted. Again, it's that idea that you're feeling like you are being weak, but it's because spiritually you need to find a way to get your rest, whether that be, you know, some sort of worship. You know, maybe you want to go to church, but the churches have been closed. You know, maybe you just want to get together with somebody that you can connect with on a spiritual level. So maybe somebody that understands you and your spirituality, to be able to talk to that person. Maybe with the King of Swords, you know, there's a scarecrow there. it's the King of Swords though, but I see a scarecrow, and that actually says more to me than the fact that it's the King of Swords. It's about finding your match. Okay, so spiritually it's about finding your match. We have a scarecrow standing in a field, and there's another scarecrow over here, and of course it's the King of Swords. So the swords is about the mind, but spiritually you feel like you really would like to connect mentally with somebody on the same plane as you. And I know I have a few videos about certain things that I've gone through. I'm also an Aquarius sun and rising, as I said, and I feel like maybe if you wanted to look into my other videos, you might be able to connect a little bit with what you are going through with what I've gone through in the more current past. So it's the King of Swords. Remember though that you are an Aquarius, whether it be sun, moon, or rising. Your ruling planet is Uranus. It's the planet of innovation. It's the planet of forward thinking. I know sometimes it's hard to feel like you can find your equal as an Aquarius, especially because I'm an Aquarius. I know that a lot of times I try to find that person that will give me the type of care and understanding that I try to give to others. And I know for Aquarius it's very hard to have that, because Aquariuses are, very forward thinking individuals. So sometimes it feels like, you're misunderstood with the Devil card, and like you're just tired of trying to give to others because you almost feel like, where is that person that's going to give to you? And I'm thinking about Robin Williams, and I'm thinking about how, Robin Williams was always making people laugh and nobody understood him, and basically nobody understood him because nobody understood how sad he really was in order to reach out to him, right? And that's not anybody's fault, but it's that idea that spiritually he was lifting people's spirits, but where was his equal to lift his spirit when he needed it? And that's why he couldn't find it, and maybe that's why he felt like he was in a position where he had no choice but to end his life. So don't do that, Aquarius. I'm guaranteeing you that there's somebody out there that's going to understand you and that's going to allow you to feel enlightened with the Devil card and with the King of Swords. I know sometimes it feels like you're, like a scarecrow, like you're just scary to people because they don't understand you. And maybe with the Four of Wands you feel tired, but I'm telling you to wait, because I think somebody is coming into your life maybe within the next 2 weeks that you will be able to really connect with on a spiritual level, Aquarius. Okay, so now we're going into intellectually. Aquarius. Sun, moon, and rising. Okay, intellectually. 3 cards. Oh my God. Oh my God. How do I keep getting the same cards? Okay, we have the Four of Wands for intellectually. And I feel like intellectually, spiritually, and emotionally fit really closely together. Again, we have the Four of Wands. Guys, I'm really sorry that you're feeling this way, because I get it. We have the Strength card though, so you are very, very strong emotionally, spiritually, and now we're on intellectually. So when I talk about intellectually, I'm talking about planning. You are very strong planners. You think ahead, you get things all figured out before you move, and you have a lot of things going at once, Aquarius, but you have a lot on your mind. I think with the Five of Wands, it's almost like you feel like there would be more, more of you to go around to get all the things that you want to get done. With the Five of Wands, and I'm just gonna get a clarification card for intellectually, because I feel like there's something missing in the reading. Okay, so what are we missing intellectually for my Aquariuses, Sun, Moon, and Rising? Spirit, please clarify. Okay, we have the Four of Wands. Balance. Okay, so intellectually for planning, it's about balancing. Okay, we're feeling tired, Aquarius. We're still feeling like we have a lot of strength to give though, but we are feeling like we're in several places at once. It's about always remembering to balance. I feel like Libras are really good at balancing, but Aquarius, I feel like we go to one extreme or the other. And remember to keep your balance, okay? With the Four of Wands, especially with your willpower, okay? With your willpower and also with your spiritual time. Be selfish with your spiritual time, Aquarius is. Aquarius is, you are always spiritually giving to others. Remember to give back to yourself. It's almost like looking into a mirror. It's almost like filling up your cup, because if you always give from your cup, Aquarius, you cannot expect to keep giving with an empty cup, right? So what you want to do is you want to spend some time alone, Aquarius, and fill up your cup spiritually, whether that be going to an altar, whether that be going for a walk, whether that be going to the gym and feeling like your body is in touch with your mind, because when you focus with your earphones on at the gym or whatever, maybe you're feeling more spiritually connected. But it is about the Four of Wands. It's about passion in balance. It's about finding a passion for balance, Aquarius. And I know that it's hard for Aquarius is because we really are extreme creatures. It's true. We're really extreme creatures. And we are extreme because we know that the world can be a better place, right? And I'm not talking because I don't know. I'm an Aquarius, right? So I know from experience that this is how we are, Aquariuses. And sometimes we feel like even other Aquariuses don't understand us. Sometimes we feel like, it doesn't have to be an Aquarius that understands you. It can be a Gemini, it can be a Libra, whatever the case may be. Just find that somebody that you connect with. And I feel like that's really what the next 2 weeks is really about. It's about finding somebody to connect with in order to do the things that you feel like you need to do to better yourself as an individual, Aquarius. The last topic we have is financial. So money and career. Aquarius, what does the money and career hold for us? Wow. Okay. It's cool that we keep having the same cards. Five of Wands, strength, okay? And Knave of Wands. Again, okay? So we had the Knave of Wands for mental. We had the strength card several times before, and we have the Five of Wands as well. But the idea behind this is that I see consistency behind this, Aquarius, because we've been continually getting the same cards for the whole reading, and I have been shuffling them. But there's that idea of 11 being, the 11 of the major arcana, strength, and then we have the Five of Wands and the Knave of Wands. We will see progression, Aquarius. There will be progression in the next couple weeks, because we had the Knave of Wands, which was a starter. It was in the next 2 weeks, feeling like we were really starting out with rekindling our willpower, okay? Readjusting our outlook on things, and really just continuing on the way you're doing. Aquarius, you're doing great, okay? With financially, it isn't about who has the most money. It's about the strength that you have in believing in yourself, okay, Aquarius? I know that sometimes it feels like whoever has the most money is the most successful, but it's really whoever has the most willpower, right? We have the Five of Wands and we have the Knave of Wands. And I think that that's something that we are learning afresh. We're learning new, actually. The Knave of Wands is a new page of Wands. It's the willpower, it's spirit, it's connecting with spirit. So financially, I don't see physical money here in the cards, Aquarius is, but I do see strength in our willpower. I see strength in our balance. I see strength in our manifestation. I see strength in our work. I see strength in our spending habits. And remember, we had the strength card several times. We had the Knave of Wands with the mental. So I see that I feel like Aquariuses, we're always learning something new mentally, because we're always ready to change when we need to, even though it's true that Aquariuses can get stuck in their ways just like anybody. I feel like since we are very innovative, Aquarius, we are if we feel like we've been given enough of a shakeup, we are ready to open our minds to new possibilities. That's not a problem for Aquarius. Aquarius has a really easy time seeing both sides of the coin, and we don't like to judge anybody. Yeah, so financially, let's just get another card though, because I don't see, like I see strength. So I see that we are having an easier time controlling our spending habits. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Um, I'm not really sure what this is Five of Wands mean for us. Okay. Okay, clarification card, the Four of Pentacles. So Pentacles is a money symbol. It can symbolize money for sure. So this is what we're talking about. We're talking about money. We're talking about having a hold on money. It's about keeping a hang on your money situation. Aquariuses are very abundant, okay? Aquarius, we're having an easy time believing that we will be abundant financially, and we're just waiting for Spirit to provide us with what we know is already ours financially. That's what I see here in the Four of Pentacles for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Okay, guys, so for Sun, Moon, and girls, Sun, Moon, and Rising Aquarius, that was your next 2 weeks reading, and I will see you in 2 weeks for another Aquarius reading, and we will go over again the 6 topics that I covered today. Feel free to leave a comment down below, and feel free to subscribe to my channel, and also like this video if there was anything helpful that you heard as an Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And until the next video, you guys, Mo here. See you. Bye.